Oh, I can't tell you how enthused I was. I really can. And I made the joke whenever I traveled around that, Australians are kind of like those Japanese soldiers stuck on those islands, still unaware that the war was over. And it's a very cynical joke about the state of the Western world. But I have to say, I think, perhaps, I was told recently that the way the English that's spoken into the former colonies is actually more authentic to the English that people spoke in Britain at the time of colonization. And I think in some ways the embers of Western civilization are continuing to smolder in places like Australia in a way that perhaps we sometimes don't feel here, for all sorts of reasons. But I was very enthused, I have to say. And I think it was wonderful to see a country that economically is doing better than us. I think culturally you haven't slipped nearly as far, and that's perhaps a function of remoteness. We download American cultural nonsense first, and then perhaps you get it from us here in the UK. So you've had a chance to watch us go crazy and maybe haven't been tempted to go as crazy. And, I also think that a country of people who are so connected to farming and mining and all of these other things that are such a bedrock of your economy is less susceptible to these ideological delusions that we are so, in our big city world here in the UK and in America, we're so prone to. So I was incredibly enthused. And to know that, the Western world geographically is very disconnected nowadays, but I think ideologically and in terms of our sense of who we are, there's a reason that there's so many Australians coming to the ARC conference, for example, that you guys, you still remember what this was all about. And one of the reasons I think it's easier for you to remember what this is all about is you're in a continent in the middle of an ocean surrounded by people of a different civilization who all want to come to your country and benefit from your freedoms and prosperity. And I think it's very difficult to forget when you are surrounded by people who are not as well off as you, who are not as successful as you, who are not as free as you. It's difficult to forget that there isn't something special about civilization, this civilization that we're all part of. And I had, the tremendous privilege to travel around your country and speak to many, many people who I think get it. We've got a fight on, and I think, in Australia, I actually saw that fight could still be won.